I was just chatting with a food truck operator here today, James, who runs Gorilla Cheese, and he was just telling me about, I met his wife for the first time, and she's really excited because now that he's in his second year of business, he's sort of got his system down. But when he was opening it, he's working 20-hour days, like getting up at 6 a.m. and not done with his day until 3 a.m. And I think that that's one of the things that's sort of misunderstood about food trucks is people see them from 12 to 2, see all the smiling faces, see all the food going in and out, but it's a lot of work. So depending on what your concept is, you might be waking up pretty early in the morning to go to a commissary to prep your food. All of these trucks are run out of Department of Health approved commissaries or commercial kitchens where all the food is made. So early in the morning, people are going to be there prepping food, making salads, cooking off like the proteins, preparing sides. Then there's a big load in early in the day. Probably by 8 o'clock you need to get your truck all loaded up. Then off to the city to try and find parking. Parking in New York City is really, really hard. So anyone that drives in the city knows how hard it is to park a car, but then imagine trying to park a box truck. You know, it's just like, it's very, very challenging finding parking, and that could take you 15 minutes if you're really, really lucky, or that could take you an hour and a half, and you could go from spot to spot to spot and not find parking. Once you're set up, you need to get all your equipment ready, up to temp, prep everything on the truck, get ready for service, make sure all your paper products are in the right place so that once you start service, you can go really fast. Then service is going to go by like a snap. From 12 to 2, most of the savory trucks really do most of their business at lunch. It's just going to be a whirlwind of customers and food and trying to keep up with the demand. Most of the trucks will run 2 meal periods a day, so maybe a lunch and a dinner. And in the middle of the day, they might move from one location to another, so it's off again to find a new parking spot for dinner. Then the dinner rush, and you know, if you're lucky, you might book a catering event for the evening at a movie set or a film shoot or maybe someone's wedding, and then back to the depot, everything unloaded off the truck scrubbed down and cleaned for the next day, and then finally hop on the subway to get home. So it's a long day, it's a lot of work, but you know, these entrepreneurs, they're really, really passionate about food, and they're really passionate about their customers and making them happy, so it's all worth it.